Hey guys, welcome to another video of Scent Saga. My name is Deep, and in this video, I wanted to talk about one of my favorite, and when I say favorite, very near dear favorite Gourmand perfume that I have in my collection. And basically what happened was I initially tested a sample. And if you have seen my previous video about House of Kanzan's Hazy Reflection, you already know that the perfume that I'm talking about is Café Neroli. Okay, so this is Café Neroli from the House of Kanzan, and in this video I want to share with you why I feel that this is one of the best gourmandish perfume that I have in my collection, which is very suitable for the upcoming monsoons. And while the summer is kind of ending, like the summer is transitioning into monsoon and the entire monsoon, I think that this is a very good gourmandish fragrance that you can have in your collection. So without wasting any more time, let's get started with the first thing. Like, what is the smell of Café Neroli perfume from House of Kanzan? So imagine an upscaled cafe, okay? And you are sitting in that cafe having a sip at the cappuccino that is in your table. You're getting that warm whiff of coffee aroma coming into your nose, and just where you're sitting, there is a small garden-like structure on the right-hand side, or maybe on the left-hand side of yours, where you are getting some orange blossom kind of notes coming into your nose, okay? Imagine a floral note along with that hint of coffee that is coming in your nose. That's exactly how this perfume smells in the opening and in the mid-note, okay? Because as the name suggests, this is kind of a gourmandish perfume with some floral notes, and over here the prominent notes that you're going to get up front when you smell it is going to be coffee, but not that typical black coffee like strong coffee like smell. Rather, you're going to get something which smells like a cappuccino, where there is a lactonic note, like a note of milk along with the coffee. So if you just read the notes in Café Neroli perfume, you will understand that at the top note, they mention that they have added almond, they have added rum, and they have added a note of apple. Over here, when I smelled it, I get very minute note of apple, but almond and rum kind of creates this symphony where it kind of mimics the note of coffee. Although they have not mentioned coffee over here, but somehow the notes seem to mimic the note of coffee, and that rum is not overpowering over here. And oh my god, it smells like rum. No. The note of rum is very minute, but it somehow is added in such a way that the overall note structure makes you feel like you are smelling coffee, which is awesome. Now, on top of that, just at the mid note, when the perfume starts settling down, Neroli Lotus comes into play, and there is a hint of, they say that it's coconut milk, but I do get that hint of lactonic note with some coconutty vibe. But over here, the note of coconut milk is not that prominent, okay? It's not very lactonic. It's kind of that well blended cappuccino like smell, and that is the reason that note of milk can be felt, but in a lightest way possible. Okay, now when the perfume starts going into the dry down, here something magical happens, okay? They introduce a note of sandalwood over here along with vanilla, and then they say that it has got the notes of marshmallow. In India, I really don't think that marshmallow is that popular. At least I feel that way. Residing in the city where I am, we are not that fond of marshmallow, but yeah, I have no idea how a marshmallow would smell. I did have it, but as of now, I can't recollect the note. But vanilla, I do understand, and sandalwood, I do understand. And over here, the note of sandalwood is very well balanced and in very minute quantity. And the vanilla over here is also not sweet. The note of vanilla is prominent, but it's not sweet vanilla. So what really happens is the entire perfume creates a very airy like perfume. It's not very dense or heavy or sticky, rather it's more airy, but still carries that gourmandish vibe along with it. So it's kind of a fresh gourmand perfume, and I absolutely love the fact about this particular thing about Café Neroli, because most of the gourmandish perfume that usually I tend to see or experience, say for an example Latafa Khamra, that's a very dense gourmandish perfume. But there are other few gourmandish perfume that I absolutely love. This also makes the cut over there. So I personally believe that when there is this monsoon kind of a setup where the weather is a bit tad gloomy, there is some humidity in the air. Sometimes you're getting rain, sometimes it's kind of like very cloudy sky. Somehow this perfume will give you that warmth, but at the same time this will not choke you, make you feel fresh due to the added notes of neroli, or quote unquote, or in brackets, orange blossom, because neroli is also called that. Okay, so you get that slight little floral notes along with that coffee like vibe. So all in all, this creates a perfect setup for a very cozy atmosphere according to me. Now, where do I see this perfume getting used a lot? I would say it's perfect for the dates, perfect for everyday wearers. I mean, if I'm kind of biased about this perfume, so I can rock it any given point in time. Even I have worn it in the office as well. Okay, I did wear it in the office and people were like, you smell a bit different. It's kind of chocolatey, it's kind of coffee, but at the same time, it doesn't feel so sweet. And I was like, yeah, that is the exact thing that I wanted from this perfume, and it did the job quite well. Now, regarding the perfume, I said a lot of good things, but is everything good about the perfume? I would say no, but somehow it works in my favor. Okay, so House of Kanzan does not make beast mode projecting perfumes, okay? They are more into moderate to soft projecting perfume. So is the case with this one. Café Neroli will project, but not in a beast mode projecting way, but in a more soft, subtle, moderate way. And this perfume lasts around 5 to 6 hours when I have applied it on my clothes. I did have to spray around 8 to 10 sprays, after which it lasted and projected for the amount of hours that I told. If you're just applying 4 to 5 sprays, it will not project much, but still stay with you. So if you are planning on buying this, do understand the fact, one, this is not a beast mode heavy projecting perfume, rather a soft, moderate projecting perfume. And the longevity that you're gonna get out of this perfume is decent. Not very, very long lasting, but decent. Because 5 to 6 hours for me is decent enough. While I'm adding this, I do need to tell you one more thing. Like, does that mean that after 5-6 hours, the perfume is completely gone? I would say no. It comes very close and becomes a skin scent. And the very, very, very awesome thing about House of Kanzan is the way the blend is, okay? The blend does not feel synthetic at all. There is no alcoholic blast, and the perfume feels very, very, very well blended. That is something that I loved about the brand, okay? They focused a lot on how the perfume needs to smell. Now, I have talked a lot about the perfume in itself. Let me show you how the presentation is. Although I know this is kind of a bit redundant, but at the same time, I still need to show you, right? So the Café Neroli comes in a box like this, which is a typical House of Kanzan design, very minimalist. And when you open the box, you are greeted with a card, which basically shows you like an image of a cafe with the espresso dripping down into the cup. At the back, you have the details or the note structure of the perfume, and this is how the perfume is packaged. Now, in terms of the pricing, you might find this perfume a bit expensive, selling at $9.99 for 50 ml. I still want to sway towards the perfume in itself because I don't want to take the name of the brand, but there is a clone house who sells perfume for $9.99 for a 50 ml. The perfumes, although smells nice, does not really last long. I feel that this perfume does a better job when it comes to the longevity than those perfumes, does a better job in terms of the projection as well. Although it's not supposed to be a beast mode projecting perfume, they didn't create it like that. This is a very well-rounded, well-blended perfume. So if people can afford that, I think people can afford this as well. Also, this is not a clone to any perfume. Rather, this is an original blend in my opinion, because I have not smelled anything which kind of mimics this. So if you're buying this and you're applying this, you will not smell like just another person who's buying clones. You will smell a bit different. For me, that kind of is something that I appreciate about a brand where they're trying to create something which is good, but at the same time is not copied from somebody else, okay? So for that reason, Café Neroli is a very near and dear perfume to me from the House of Kanzan. And although this perfume review might seem a bit biased, because yes, I am biased about the perfume, I do want to tell you that, not every nose and not every perfume are created equally for everybody. So before you try this perfume out, if possible, get a sample, test it out and see if you like it. Because I did, after I tried this 2 ml vial, I fell in love with the perfume, and that is the reason I went ahead and I purchased it. But that really doesn't mean that the same thing will happen to you as well. But in case you are looking for a floral gourmandish perfume that is perfect for the monsoon, but you like something which is minutely sweet, but at the same time a bit more airy and a bit less dense, then Café Neroli, my friend, is a really good option for you. So I think that was enough me talking or ranting about Café Neroli from House of Kanzan. In case you have any queries or concern about this perfume, do let me know. And also, in case you have any specific query about any other particular perfume, you have the comment section. You can write about it as well, or you can reach out to me via Sense Saga Online, which is my Instagram handle, and I will try my best to answer your DMs over there as well. So with that, this is Deep signing off. I'll see you on the next one very soon. Bye-bye.